Welcome to Tales from the Streets.
Because I enjoy eating blokos, I was labeled a man eater. I love street food. So once in a while, I'll pick up my bowl and go buy food outside. Not because I don't like cooking, I actually enjoy cooking, but sometimes I will want to taste another person's food, especially buka or street food, not from fancy restaurants or fast food joints. For those familiar with the old model market at Yaba, this happened before the market was remodeled and everything is now fancy. There used to be one lady called Kemi who sold rice. I mean, cooked rice and rich fried stew streaming with all kinds of meat. She was quite popular back in the day, just as popular as bankolemo rice. You know, Nigerians used to buy bankolemo rice and take it abroad. Yeah, Kemi's rice was that tasty. Anyway, this Kemi had a backstory. Rumor had it that she did juju to get customers. You see, if you haven't eaten Kemi's rice, you haven't eaten rice. So, do you know back then there would be a huge crowd lined in front of Kemi, the rice seller? This Kemi girl will not be older than, say, maybe 30 or max 35 years old. Rumor had it back then that she had a three-story building from selling rice. I tended to believe the story because this babe was selling rice as if no other person was doing any kind of business. She always had this huge, massive basin of rice at one side, another massive basin of fried stew with orishirishi meat filled to the brim. I mean, a cauldron, and she will be sold by noon. Everything will go by noon. As in, not one grain of rice will remain in her basin. The funny part is, Kemi had a rival food seller seated right next to her, as the lady will also be seated right under the same shadow. Not even a proper canteen. We will just queue in front of both of them. You buy your food and go. There's no sitting arrangement here. So many times, whether rain or sweltering heat, you will find long queues of hungry customers in front of Kemi. An arrival had no customer. They said Kemi was doing juju. You hear all kinds of stories when someone is making money off something that everybody thinks is ordinary. And many times I will tell myself before going that I will not line behind Kemi's basin of rice because you see, the rival's rice and stew tastes exactly like Kemi's own. This information came from those who dared. By daring, I mean those who ignore Kemi and her long queue and go straight to the other lady and buy their rice. Many times I had made a strong determination not to buy from Kemi because not only would the queue be long, but the other lady sold the same tasting rice and stew. A few times after Kemi sold off all her basin of rice, she would take her rival's rice and sell it as well. And those who have tasted the food said there's no difference between hers and Kemi's. As for me, Omo, I always fell for Kemi's juju. I will just find myself queued behind the last person, right in front of Kemi's basin of rice. Let me also add that Kemi's rice was always expensive. This was before rice turned to gold in Nigeria. Kemi would scoop 2 spoons and charge you an eye for it. The other lady I have seen a few times with a few people who dare to buy from her, she will heap your bowl with rice and for a good price too. Anyway, there was Kemi making money off those of us who wouldn't dare to go and buy from her rival. So on this day, I went to buy rice with my niece, a precocious 6-year-old at that time. Like I said, I enjoy offal. You know, I like goat or cow blokos. I don't know what you call it, but you know the private part of cows or goats or rams, the balls, yeah? Those huge things dangling between their legs. Yes, I enjoy eating them. My niece was a pupil in the school taught not too far from where I lived, so often she stayed with me after school. Her mom would pick her up after work. So there I was at the end of the queue with my niece. The first words out of her mouth should have given me a warning. I did not learn. No. You know, these children have loud voices. We were in the market. There were other traders, meat sellers, fruit sellers, the whole mix. My niece raised her voice above the din. Her shrill voice felt as if she had a microphone dug inside her throat. She said, Auntie me, shebi you know mommy said that we will not eat Kemi's rice. You said you won't eat her juju rice. I froze. I should have covered her mouth and left the queue. Before I could ask her to keep quiet, a few busybodies had turned to look at us and asked what I was still doing on the queue if I thought Kemi's rice was juju. I tried to laugh and act like I didn't care. My little motto mouth was persistent in her ask. Auntie me, you want to eat juju food, eh? Auntie me. I got myself together and covered her mouth with my hand. Becky, shut your tiny mouth before I woz you. She kept quiet, but missed the threat in my voice. Soon she was bouncing up and down at the queue as it moved along. I heard a few people yapping me already. What are you still doing here eating juju food? Eh? Juju food is sweet, eh? That's why you are here. Some even cursed me. You call it juju food. Did they by force you? Looking back, all of them had heard the rumor. They were beating themselves up like me for staying in on the queue that supported the juju rumor. Anyway, we got to the head of the queue. Come and see another embarrassing moment. My little loud mouth piped. Auntie me, you love to eat gende. That's gende in the pot. Auntie Kemi, give my auntie gende. Oh. She likes gende. The little she-devil was hopping and pointing at a large round blobber. That could have been shaki or even pomo that was bathed in rich red pepper and oozing oil. Everyone burst into laughter. What is gende, you ask? Gende is the street word for blokos. Like I said, goat balls, scrotum, and all the downward package of a cattle. Come and see us, people. Everyone, even Kemi selling the food, everyone busted out laughing at me. The meat sellers offered to sell me cow penis. The other men around asked if I wanted their balls as well. I was so ashamed. I could have killed my niece that day. Even Kemi said that she had sold the gende in her pot but would reserve big balls for me the following day. That episode cured me of eating Kemi's food. My little mortal mouth could not be silenced. She began telling Kemi in that piping, loud voice, Auntie me likes tozo. She likes tozo too. Do you have tozo? I prefer chicken. Do you have chicken? The men began to say, though I looked innocent, I was a man-eater. A few of them mocked by holding their trousers and saying, if they don't move away from me, that I will eat their balls live. Idiots. It's not their fault. If I had to go to the market, I avoided the area where Kemi sold food. As for my little motor mouth, that was the last time I took her out with me. Of course, I twisted her ears hard that day for the embarrassment she caused me.
If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.